Hey guys, welcome back.
Hi.
We're back on turn 29. So last turn was boring. We took a fort. Roos is coming towards us.
Yeah.
We're gonna see if they actually attack. Okay, so what we started to do is I've started to get blood hunters out there to go look for virgins so that I can start getting a blood economy. So if you look, it says like I got this dude got 6 blood slaves, and then 2 others got 12. And so what happens is you get your blood level, which is normally about 2 or 3 for them, and then you get to roll a dice. And so these guys, rolled about average. They got about 3 or 4 each. So, and then we found a magic site, which is Enchanted Field. I think it's a crappy one, but I could be wrong. We got Conjuration 4, but we did not move on to Conjuration 5. So we got the ability to level up our Nature Mage, but we didn't get Howl yet. And that's going to come back to bite me. We're starting to get this Shambler Chief. We killed him and his little buddies, and so I think that was on the throne. And then, good news, we did not find any more commanders. So at this point, I get a hold of Alm, who's a guy in the south. I say, hey, I cleared all the commanders out. I need you to, if you don't mind, I'm gonna attack their next turn. And he said nothing. And he was absolute quiet, and we're like, dude, we'd like to know if, we can take this throne. I cleared it out and everything like that. And so he did not get back to me. So we're gonna go in next turn and try to take this throne. Okay, so we attacked Marverni on their... Which hill it is? I don't know where this... Oh, no, Marverni attacked us. Okay, so that's just a crappy hit. Okay, we have jumped onto their cap. What's up?
So there is
Alm and we've agreed that we are not going to hit each other's territory. But an independent province like that, it's kind of like a gentleman's agreement. It's kind of nice to do. And it's one of the, you start getting a reputation. In fact, I was talking to another player today about how one of the players he won't even play with anymore because, and it's not just because he broke Nap, but just because he's a jerk. He tries to take advantage wherever he possibly can, and you got to realize that you're playing a game with these guys. If you want Game of Thrones diplomacy, you should expect Game of Thrones results.
That's the thing is that the mini game is not highly popular game. Like, only who plays the game plays the game. So, for me, it should be a lot.
Yeah, and half these guys I've played multiple games with. And the Ulm player, for example, is I was told by Lucid from Lucid Tactics that he's like, this guy is really good and he's he could very easily take the game. And so I was on edge about that, and Femoria, I played with him before. I played with Marverni before. I played with Roos before, in fact. I didn't even realize that the Roos player, I looked back and I was like, oh my goodness, I played him in my Allegra game, where I was the Giants. Bacone?
Yeah.
I was playing the late age of them. And, so he was playing Lemuria in that one. So, just kind of interesting how you kind of get around and you get a reputation, and, I have a reputation of, I think, of being, just a very good defender and somebody that you don't want to go to war with because I'll lose slowly. And so, well, it's just that your first battle's got to be the one that goes quickly, and it's got to be a fast first war, and then that way you can get ahead. The goal is to snowball the fastest, to get bigger the fastest. And so, I've got a reputation that I do not take break violating naps very well. I have a lot of people that don't like to play with me because I get very upset when people violate naps.
Yeah.
I'll get on and be like, hey guys, just so you know, this guy violated naps and I hope that he dies in a fire. And so the nice thing is that the people who violate naps end up playing together. And they end up grouping together, and they play that cutthroat that they enjoy, and that's good.
Yeah.
If you like that style of, you can never really trust somebody, then I think those players should play together, and guys like me should play with guys that you can trust, and that way the two shall not mix. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so we attacked Marverni, and we're gonna see. Remember last time he had all those mages on his. Well, this time he's got them, I guess, researching, or at this point he's just hiding. So, what's it?
I have a cybernetic question. Do you think it'd be better for you if the game should provide, like, it's very magically new and someone the player cannot take you, like,
I would. I don't like. I like the ability that you can violate naps. What I don't like is that there's no note system, so that you can actually send a formal a formal letter. In that the agreement, you can have it where you have to sign that agreement. I think that'd be awesome. In that the game doesn't actually keep track of what that note says, but it has a signature, it has a turn stamp, and that you can look back, because that would be very, very, a lot of times it's a he said, she said, and so you get this kind of disconnect as to what really happened. And so to have that where it's signed by both players, that would be very, very nice. That being said, you can look about it.
yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't want anything actually enforced. It just, I don't know. I like that ability to violate NAP if you need to. Like I said, I've done it before. I violated NAP. I had one throne that I needed to win. We jumped on it, and that was gonna win it for us. And it was I even went up to the guy afterwards, and I was like, I really apologize, and if it wasn't the last turn, I wouldn't do it. And he was like, he couldn't understand why I was so, apologetic, but, it's really interesting. And, the thing is that you get, it's kind of like, the religious schisms where, you get two different religious people together and they'll debate. Same thing with naps and what violates naps and what's good behavior. You get two guys together and they'll, Dominions players, and they'll argue for hours.
Yeah.
So this is Veritos, and Veritos is the capital. So we got to see a fight on Veritos' capital. And Veritos was under siege, so this means they're trying to break the siege. So what we get to do is we get to see, this is their pretender. And she's got a bunch of hit points. She's got a sword that will kill giants. And she's got enough gear to be able to protect herself. The idea with this stone bird is to repel. Remember how it's repelling I was telling you about? But the thing is that she's only got an attack of 15, so it's not going to work very well. But I think she's got regeneration, so she's going to be getting a whole bunch of hit points back for her turns. Yep, she's I can't remember what this is called. Serpent King. What's it? Oh, not tentacle. Yeah, it's I can't remember what these things are called. Oh, she's a mother of monsters. But I thought there's actually a term for half snake, half woman. Oh well. And then this guy is a mercenary. Yeah, and this is he's just a big old pile of hit points. I wouldn't bring him because if he dies, she has a chance of routing, running away because she's scared. On this side, he's got two mages, and these are kind of warrior mages. A bunch of these big giants, and then a bunch of crappy troops. So she casts regeneration, so she went from 10% regeneration to 20% regeneration. You get a lot of hit points. And if you see around her, the green little clouds, yeah, venom or poison, yeah. So she just got skeletal body, so now she's immune to piercing, if I remember correctly. Meanwhile, they're buffing with your standard, protection 25, so he's doing his, iron skin. So he's turning his skin into iron, and, he's getting stronger, so strength of giants. Yeah, you see, the Etten just died immediately. I don't really know why he threw that out there. So, let's see what happens. Okay, so they're doing what little bit of damage, and this is called chip damage. And it's very scary unless you have regeneration, because eventually, you'll die one hit point at a time. But if you see like these green numbers are them getting poisoned. So there's the 5, and she's getting 38 regen per turn. Oh man, she got frozen somehow? Oh, he's got a frost brand.
Oh.
So he actually made her freeze. But you see, like, she's taking a ton of damage.
Yeah.
And she's regenerating it back up.
Oh.
But she's taking these afflictions. And these are where you start getting, like, if you take 10% of your HP in one hit, you have a 10% chance of getting an affliction. If you take 1%, you get a 1% chance. Well, she failed that roll 2 times, and now she's not as strong, and she loses 25%, or like a bunch of her hit points. So if you see that the poison is just starting to really take effect, and they're bringing her hit points down, but not fast enough. Where's the other guy? She already killed him, so one of these guys is already dead. Now, do you see the green line underneath?
Yeah.
If the green line is larger than the red line, he'll eventually die from poison. The question is he gonna die before he gets off the map? So sadly, he lost both of his, or one of his pull marks. He lost a bunch of these gigantic hoplites, and these guys it's not just that they're 40 gold, they're also very hard to recruit. You can only recruit like 1 or 2 at a time. At least I think at this age. Maybe that's a different age, but I'm pretty sure you get, either way, they're very hard to recruit.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we get to see, this is actually kind of funny. Zabalba's getting their revenge on Roos.
Oh.
Because remember how Roos took the cap circle?
Yeah.
Now Zabalba's taking it back, and at this point he's kind of giving up, and he's just going to start raiding with this little force that can do pretty big damage from here on out. Another raid, this is by I think this is a national hero. So it's actually one of his heroes. And then, that one, Vanheim is raiding. Yomi took a throne. That's a throne in the middle. This actually kind of, we'll enjoy when we can watch this. Because we talked about this. Remember, these are the ones that can cast the, I thought these are the guys that could cast the, elementals, and it looks like they can. So if you see this guy's red, and you see how he's charging forward?
Yeah.
That means he's enraged. Yeah, and he's not going to cast any spells. And that's because he's got this berserker belt, which makes him go berserk. And so it's kind of a good thing for us, because now he's not going to cast any spells. Okay, so these are the elementals right here. And these are little elementals, and this is a big fire element. Now the nice thing is that most of his troops have fire resistance, so it's not a big deal. And if these guys get blessed, I guess they naturally have fire resistance too. One of the problems, these are the Shikomi, and these are the reason why we went with this bless, is that when they get the bless, they get like 16 damage attacks, and 2 of them in their magic weapons, and they go berserk, so their strength goes higher if they get hurt at all. And a whole bunch of things that make these things really, really good. And this Shikomi costs 1 death gem, and you can get 8 at a time. So in one turn, you could use like 80 gems and get like 80 troops. And these are like my white centaurs. So you could get like 80 white centaurs in one turn. But the only person that he has that can bless these guys is this dude. And I don't know, and you're going to see this in a lot of the battles. He gets all these Shikomi, and he never has the priest to bless them. And that's one of the problems that he has. But if you see these Shikomi, like you see the red ones, the red ones have actually got more strength because they're berserking. And so they're dealing with just ridiculous amounts of damage and just eating everything here. But they're also kind of dying slowly. They don't have, they're kind of naked. And so they've got 9 protection, and 4 that's because they're berserk. And so it's one of those things that they kind of die really fast. And we lose 16 Shikomis, which is the same thing as losing 16 death gems. Now, we got a throne over it, so it's kind of worth it. But you're going to see that I always look at the Shikomi and say, how many death gems have we lost this turn? Okay, so we pinged this force, and watch this. If I would have been intelligent, I would have stayed right here, and these guys are running away, and he would have won the battle just by staying here.
Yeah.
The problem is that I would have done hold, and attack, and I was afraid that on that 5th hold, he would fly up in the air, try to attack these guys, and get killed. And I didn't want that. I don't know why. He's a 25 gold unit. So, we're gonna tell Ulm again, hey, don't attack. We're gonna get it this turn. And he still hasn't gotten back to us over 2 turns. Okay, and then we went and killed these Hydras. We lost a bunch of Maenads, but who cares? They're just Maenads. Okay. And then Yomi took over the siege for us. So now Marverni is completely under siege. Yay. Okay, and we got another H3. So this is like number 4. We've got like 4 H3s at this point, which are the things that need to claim thrones. So it's a really big deal. And also, they're not only just that, they can hold off 80 guys. They can bless everybody, they can hold 80 guys. They're ridiculously good. And if you see here, oh no, that's not the big guy. Okay, so we're also that's about it. Okay. So at this point, Marverni is down to just 1, 2, 3 provinces. They don't have any big army left. But if you see here, Rus is finally moving on to hit us, and we didn't 1 turn crack this fort. Now if you see, wall integrity 250, and I have 279 siege strength. So there's something in there. And not only that, but if you look at these guys, this is an average troop. They normally have half the defense that they do strength. So that means he's got about 40 guys in there, which might be problematic, especially if it's 40, mages. That would be really bad. Exactly. Okay, so, other than that, that's pretty much the turn. That's the other thing. At this point, we're seeing, this big old army. This is starting to scare us. And it's also on our border, so we're kind of talking to Femoria, but Femoria is kind of cool. They're like, we're not attacking you, and I kind of trust them. Well, I mean, I've got this gigantic army on their border too, so. Oh, that's the other thing is that because he has this throne, and this throne, do you see this little white line here? That's my dominion, and you see how it's not here anymore? That's because Femoria's dominion is in here. In their dominion, you can see this one has had their dominion longer, has got order. And order means that I don't get as many Maenads. So these guys are actually gonna have to evacuate to be able to get more Maenads. I'm also gonna give this space up pretty soon. I'm gonna give that over to Yomi so he can get some of those mages that he wants. And the other thing that I might keep these guys here, because what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to give this guy, he's going to be given 2 blood slaves, and I'm going to do, where is it? Do I not have a, that's really interesting, I'm not seeing it. Oh, no, that's right. It's not these guys. Okay, so you gotta give it to a holy guy. And what he can do is he can perform blood sacrifice. And what that will do is that'll pretty much give me 1 candle in here. So will kick out a candle for me. And if I bring this, this guy in, and then I give him 3 blood slaves, he can give me 3 candles. And so I'm gonna try to, push my dominion a little bit over. If we look on the Arcocephali front, good news for us, Arcocephali is winning, but they're not winning enough that we have to get worried. We want them to tie. We want this war to last forever, and it's looking pretty good. On the Niflheim front, they're keeping troops on our border. Not cool, bro. Not cool. We talked to them, they say that they're not going to attack us. So Baratos has reclaimed their capital. Zabalba looks like they're holding out, at least. And so kind of all good on every front, north, south, east, and western front. Okay, moving on to turn 30.
30. Yay!
Okay, so we got another fortress. This one is, I don't even know where this is. Oh, this is in the throne that we just took. Okay, so we're starting to try to seduce Roos's mages. And remember, we can actually steal these guys.
Yeah.
And these guys are amazing. Air 3 is a very, very, very important path. I really want Air 3. If I can get one of these guys, I can cast a magic spell that will make all of my guys, remember how the hard to hit guys, where they have like the mirror image? Kind of like that. It's called Cloud Warriors. And so this guy would be really awesome, but sadly, I didn't seduce him. Okay, so I cast my bugs, but he's got this thing called an air elemental. And air elementals are not very nice because they fly and they deal lightning damage. So we're going to see this is going to go. So all my bugs ditch me, and then he comes behind, and then he murderates me. So, sad day, he killed us. Yeah, I know. Yeah, not at all. Okay, so we gave up the mountain province near us that we took, because mountains are good for Yomi. Mountains, they get, like, more demons from the mountains. Okay, yeah, I need forest, he needs mountains. Okay, so more raiding. Okay, so this is important. So I want you to look, it's Anglovania is the throne. And about 23 minutes after the turn rolled, Olm got a hold of us and said, "I'm so sorry, bro. I've been very busy lately. I didn't get your message until after I submitted my turn."
You're lying.
So he brought in a small army to take, and he obviously saw me ping. It was not a random chance. At least I don't think so. And not only that, but the units that were left were not very many. I didn't kill any mages, so the mages were gone. And I just took a bunch of maenads, a bunch of these troops, just in case, I came across, if he tried to do something cheesy, like drop a commander in there to take it over, that I could kill that one commander. Instead, I took about 2 turns worth of white centaurs, and one of my H3s, a pan, and so this is kind of expensive for me. And he has 5 mages, including 2 of his cap-only mages. He's got gems, and he starts casting some monstrosity spells. One of the spells he's going to cast is Howl, and he made sure he could cast Howl right out the bat. And that's the thing that makes sure that all the wolves. Now, he could possibly say this was a mistake, but, I'll let people decide that. He's casting Legions of Steel, making his protection way up to 14 as well. Okay, and if you see, we're starting to get some wolves off in the area, or all over the place. You see the little wolf here and the little wolf here? Yeah. And they come from everywhere, and they're going to start surrounding my guys back here. Now, here comes my maenads, and hopefully my maenads will die a lot, and then the rest of my guys will run away, because we're not going to win this. Not only that, but he's also starting to spam full-size elementals. These things cost a lot of gems. They're 1 gem each. So he's already gone through 3 gems for Howl and 4 gems for the elemental. So he's already casting 7 gems on... Oh, yeah, he knew I was coming in here, and he absolutely wanted me to lose, or wanted me to lose. Okay, so. And if you hear the screaming, that's my maenads, and that's these warriors. Now, the downside is that if you see my guys are turning red, that means they're berserking, and they're never going to run away. The upside is that I think my guys ran away. But yeah, it was not good. I was able to keep my two mages stayed alive, especially this guy, which I cannot replace. And I did kill 18 of his guys, but it was not an even trade. And at this point, I was telling Vish, I got really upset. I was like, this is the same thing to me as a violation of NAP. He did it on purpose. He knows he did it.
And sometimes 4 days.
Yeah, it was only 2 days. I don't know, but and that's the thing is maybe it was truthful, but it didn't feel truthful, and it didn't feel like there was an apology. And I think when he came back, he's like, "Well, I hit it before and I failed," so he like tried to take it before and he failed. And if he'd have came up to me and been like, I really think that that it should be mine, I think we could have came out to an agreement.
Yeah.
Or if he would have said like, we can fight over it or something like that, but. It was the underhandedness that I really didn't like. It really did feel it, and so because of that, at this point, I'm like, I'm already prepared to fight against him, and it's pretty obvious at this point he's not beating Veritos. They just lost at Veritos.
Yeah.
They're losing at Xibalba. They're not finishing him off quickly, and as slow as we're going, you got to remember, I'm going slow killing Marverni, but that's because I've got like 2/3 of my force on the Ulm border.
Yeah.
So I'm killing Marverni with 1/3 of my force while preparing to attack Ulm with 2/3.
Mm-hmm.
And so at this point I'm like, can we go next turn? And Vish said, just hold off. And I calmed down and realized that he's right, it wasn't a violation of that. And it's all fairs in love and war and all. It's gonna It's not a very nice move, but, at the same time, it's a throne, and those thrones are the way that you win games. And, that's one that Vish was also doing the diplomacy, so maybe if I was doing diplomacy, I could have been a little bit more, Vish is normally different. I don't understand how he does diplomacy, but somehow he always gets what he wants, and he always is able, and when I say, what did you say, I get screenshots of, like, nap 3 okay, and it's like, okay. And so, like, it's really interesting. I don't know. So Roos is now hitting us, and there's the Perkuna that I really want. So just another raid. These guys are really cool. This is, Veritos. I think this is a national hero. And so, but it's a really good mage. It's not. It's a brazen bull. I think it's made of brass. It's either, I don't know. It's made of metal, and then brought to life, and then it has some magic paths. And what's sad is like it's not even fighting that much. And I don't understand, and like it's got no protection, I guess. So yeah, either way, like if you see, like he gets annihilated. Well, I mean, you're not supposed to use him like this. He's got. I mean, maybe they can recruit him because it's 2 random paths, but I don't know. It's literally it's a national hero, and it was a good mage, and they could have used it, but they didn't. So that was gone. And then we raided. Okay. We got 600 gold, so we're probably gonna give about half to Yomi. We gave a bunch of we got a free fire gems. We have cracked Marverni. We have cracked the Swamp of Forgetting. Oh no, they have cracked the Swamp of Forgetting, I'm sorry. Okay, so this is kind of important. Where is Swamp of Forgetting? This one. Okay, so I was given this by Vish, I think. And at this point, he's sitting here with his entire army. The Russian army has marched all the way down, and this was probably going to join, and their entire army is right here. I don't have Jack here. The only thing I have are 2 guys that are going to seduce this turn. Vish is going to have to fight the Russian army, and I've been telling him the whole time, I fought the Marvernis. I did all the work. Your job is Rus. I took the losses, my mainads, all the naked women that I lost. And you're gonna be, now he has to lose his naked women. Because he's got the Shikomi. It's really cool. When they stack, you'll actually see, like.
Weird.
What? Yeah, I know, there's naked women in this game like crazies. Like, your pretenders, your chaff. Your blood slaves. Yeah, it's just, not for children. Yeah, exactly. So I can't remember, I didn't see where's the Heinefeed? Oh. We must have missed this last turn. Hold on just a second, because we missed a key battle that just was not... It must not have been that big of a fight. Okay, so this was the fort.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got nothing in here. So the fort ended up having nothing, and that's why I kind of just burned through it.
Yeah.
I mean, he did lose a whole bunch of goblins, but who cares? I'm so sorry. Okay, so we have busted Marverni's cap. Okay, so let's look at the Arcocephali. Arcocephali has pushed back, and they're actually sieging a Vanheim, and this could be bad, because if they push Vanheim all the way back, then we're in big trouble. And now we have a really big Niflheim army on our border. Yeah. And I played with this guy before. I literally have played in the Disciples match with him. He was the one that I won my Femoria game with. So I definitely trust this guy. In fact, this is the guy that I was doing. I think I did some. I helped him out with his doctoral thing.
Oh.
And so, or master's program. I can't remember something, but like I helped him out with that. And so like I know this guy. Like we talk, every couple days, just catching up. So I don't think he's gonna do a surprise attack, and he doesn't but he could at the same time, hey, 3 turns. He could say in 3 turns I'm attacking. So I'm maybe getting turn. And then they stole my. I was very tempted to come in here with all of my army because I do have a bigger army sitting around.
Yeah.
And just annihilate that force. I mean, I've got way more mages than what he has.
Mm-hmm.
He's only got 3 mages. And so I was very tempted to do that, but we decided against it.
But we opened the war.
Technically, it'll be... I mean, you could... I mean, it's one of those things that it's... If somebody said they violated NAP and they explained that situation, I probably would be like, I don't, I don't know if I completely agree, but that's fine. Okay, so that's about the turn. I think that's it, and we're out of time anyways. Let's look really quickly. Score graphs, gems. Gems have kind of tapered off, so we're kind of, once we got that big old boost, we kind of haven't been looking. We haven't had time to look lately, and also we haven't gotten a whole bunch of land. That being said, our income is slowly going up, but our provinces still are kind of meh. That's because we came up here, raided all that Russian territory, and now we lost it all. So now when we go and reclaim it, we'll be set.
Yeah.
I guess that's the end of the episode. So I will see you guys in the next one.
Bye.